direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill.
The golden age,
Most
guys,
of
the golden
them
age.
can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely wild. That basically sounds like a declaration of war. Basically, that's basically what that sounds like. Because Iran's almost certainly going to respond. I think that's almost a certainty at this point. So that's a commitment to further attacks if Iran goes after us, which they're going to do that.
And it largely does appear that was generally a statement of war against the Islamic Republic of Iran, as it's become quite clear that either the Islamic Republic of Iran accepts and bends to U.S. demands along the remaining parts of the ultimatum that were issued. Otherwise, further damage will start to result to the Islamic Republic of Iran's government and personnel throughout the country. We have been able to hear that just yesterday that ultimatum had been issued, and to follow along with what we have so far, these were the ultimatum's demands as of yesterday: an end to all uranium enrichment, a slash on long-range missile programs, and a dismantlement of key nuclear infrastructure. Israel believes that the rejection will equal the U.S. entrance into the war as of yesterday. That ended up being correct. At least at the moment, we do understand that the United States has ended uranium enrichment entirely as of tonight. It also appears that they've been able to dismantle key nuclear infrastructure, at least to some degree, as a result of the airstrikes that were also conducted by the USS Georgia and the B-2 bombers that also conducted the air operations tonight. However, we have not been able to see a slash of long-range missile programs being conducted by the Islamic Republic of Iran, which are still generally a large, along with half of the nuclear infrastructure that the Islamic Republic of Iran is still in possession of. So it does appear that the Iranians will have to meet us at our terms. There will no longer be any negotiations conducted with the Iranians. It now appears that there will only be an acceptance of American terms, or there will be further destruction to follow for the Islamic Republic of Iran's military and government personnel. So we are going to be waiting to see what that will result into here within the next few hours. But this has been the most historic night of news coverage that we've been able to conduct here on the stream, and there's been many that have gotten up close, but I would have to say that this is probably one of the most significant and major developments historically that we have seen so far within the region during the time that this news channel has run. We do have more news that actually came out in the midst of the president's brief address, and what do we have, man?
We just want.
So I really do think we're living through a historic time right now. I think today is going to go down in history, and whatever happens beyond this point is kind of up in the air. So we're certainly interested to see what's going to happen from here, because we're going into uncharted waters waters from this point forward about what Iran's about to do and what the U.S. is about to do in response to Iran. But one thing I want to return to real quick, the president just said in his speech right there that the strikes on Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan were a spectacular success, and all three of those facilities have been completely and totally obliterated according to damage assessments by the U.S. military analysts. So we now have confirmation that apparently all of them have been destroyed completely. And of course, we need some video evidence. I wish we had some, and sadly, we do not have any that's confirmed at the moment. But that is quite crazy. All three of those facilities have been wiped out. Also, Enforcer, we do have pictures from the Situation Room, by the way, if you just want to show the audience that, just for, I guess, historic sake. These will probably be historic photos right here into the future. These were the exact moments where the strikes were taking place, and the individuals here in the cabinet were watching the strikes on live cam footage being streamed from the military. So very interesting to see.
Did they change the way the Situation Room looks? Because I don't remember it looking like this before.
Oh, no, it's still the same. It's generally the same layout. It's just the camera angle.
I got to say, the Situation Room with the giant seal of the President of the United States is incredibly clean. I just got to say, the room design itself is actually pretty decent. For some reason, though, Matthew, I was remembering the reason why I brought that up was, don't you remember when the attack by SEAL Team 6 was conducted against Osama bin Laden? And remember the pictures that came out from Obama? I swear that the whole thing used to be like white with no wood paneling anywhere or something like that.
I don't think so. I think it's looked like this for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting. It actually looks incredibly good. But beyond that, very historic pictures that were coming out at the moment from the Situation Room as the airstrikes were being conducted tonight. And it does appear that once again, the United States of America is back inside the Middle East and will be assuring its national security interests are taken care of within the area. But at the moment, considering that we've had a small lull in the news so far, I think we can take a couple of questions, at least in the meantime right now, as we're still waiting for more major news to come out from the region. And also, we are generally waiting at this point the inevitable, or what we believe are inevitable, Iranian strikes. It does appear that according to the Israeli and Iraqi governments, it is quite obvious that some sort of proxy strikes or direct strikes from Iran are going to be conducted here incredibly soon. So we will be waiting to see what happens with that or how that develops, and that may actually happen in the very midst of our stream right here. But with that, Matthew, what do we got?
All right, so be sure to stand by, folks. We're about to answer some questions here from our audience that have thrown in support throughout the night, but we suspect this will be happening, where we might be on air for a long time tonight, because I suspect that attacks are going to take place probably tonight. So we're going to be awaiting that to see what's happening. Although, also, by the way, real quick, let's get a time check in Iran. Right now, it's 5:41 a.m. in the morning in Iran right this second. So we could be seeing daytime attacks in the early morning hours here inside of Iran's time on U.S. assets. So we're going to be watching out for that and seeing if we get any more breaking news in the meantime. But jumping into our first support here, this one is going to go to Traveling Tramps, who puts in a $111 donation. And thank you very much, Traveling Tramps, for throwing in that support and helping to keep our work on the air. And they said, boom, 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 and looking forward to hearing about it, guys.
And thank you so much for the support, very much, and helping this channel to keep it running. Sorry I stammered there. I was trying to focus on one or two things that I saw going on. But beyond that, I got to thank you so much for the massive support and helping this channel to keep on running, because you're helping us to make this news possible tonight. So a massive thanks once again, and we are on to the next one.
All right, so we are moving on to our next super chat here, which is going to go to Schmoopy, who puts in a $100 donation, and thank you very much, Schmoopy, for that $100 support. They said, bless our troops, and United States, go Israel, and LSA.
And long live the Lee Spring Army. The Lee Spring Army will never die. And a big thanks to you for the support. And a good cheer for the Armed Forces of the Republic tonight. It appears that they conducted a successful military operation against the Islamic Republic of Iran. I got to say that they operated quite valiantly to fly such a long air operation into the region, and then also strike their targets dead on the nail. So an impressive thing there. And so a huge thanks to you so much once again for the support, Schmoopy. And we are going to be grabbing another one.
All right, and our next support goes to Hokey Redneck, who's a longtime channel legend, and puts in a $100 donation, and thank you very much, Hokey, as well for that support. He said the conversion of the USS Georgia replaced the nukes with 7 Tomahawks in each tube for a total of 154.
And I actually did hear about that at some point. I wasn't sure if the Georgia was one of them, and I actually was speaking about that
Trying to keep
earlier
you
about
guys
how some
updated with what's
submarines
going on.
do
This is
have
live right
vertical
now.
launch cells for Tomahawk
Reaction to this
specifically.
news.
And thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for the massive support as well, because it actually does appear that that information is correct. And the USS Georgia is actually one of those specially outfitted submarines that carries Tomahawk missiles. Pretty impressive to hear, and I got to thank you massively for the support, because it actually does appear that that makes it highly likely so that it was the USS Georgia that conducted the Tomahawk missile strikes against the Natanz enrichment facility and the Isfahan nuclear research campus. So a huge thanks to you so much once again. I hope that does address that incredibly well. And with that, we are on to the next one.
Just live right now.
And our
Trying to
next
see
one
how
here
this is
goes
going
to
to affect
Howard
GTA
Mendelson, who
6.
puts in
And
a $50 donation.
I
And
would
thank you
say
very much,
by
Howard, as well. He said, bless our
Sunday
troops.
And I would agree. Bless the troops, and hopefully things continue to go well. And hopefully
based
we'll
on the
see that
market
U.S.
and
armed forces
to
within
see how
the
the market
region are well
react.
protected by our strong defenses that have usually been built around most of our bases in the
Show
area.
you guys
So
a
a huge
countdown
thanks to you
right
once
quick.
again. I hope that does address that incredibly well. And with
338
that,
days
we
to
are on to the
GTA
next
6
one.
come down.
All right, moving on to our next support. This one's going to be a $50 support from Eric Hill. And he said, great reporting. And also we had a 50 from David Henry, who did not leave a comment. But thank you very much, Eric and David, for that support and helping to keep us running. And Enforcer, what say you?
And I got to say a huge thanks to you all for the support. This channel only runs through crowdfunded support through the super chats like that, and I got to massively thank y'all for the support, because if it wasn't for all the folks like y'all who were supporting this channel tonight, this news coverage would have never been possible for the 1.4 million people who have watched this stream so far tonight. So a massive thanks to you so much once again.
Shout out
we
to
are
the
on to the
enforcers
next
for this news.
And we also have a $50 support from Elvis, and thank you very much, Elvis, as well, for that support. He said, what are your thoughts regarding the scope of the strikes? Is this just a show of force or the beginning of a larger offensive? And LSA.
I believe it's generally the beginning of a larger offensive. It's just that we're going to allow the Iranians to give us a proper casus belli for a larger offensive, because the U.S. airstrikes right now were incredibly limited in scope, and I could almost say that they were nearly designed as a provocative action, although they did achieve their objectives outright. The Fordo and Natanz and Isfahan facilities were completely destroyed. The Iranians are, of course, going to be enraged as a result of this, but right now, that is the limit of U.S. actions right now. We cannot confirm any other U.S. military actions that are currently happening in the area, at least at the moment. So this is now putting the ball in Iran's court to either respond or not. And it appears that the Iranians will most likely be responding. And with that fact in mind, that they are going to respond, it is now inevitable at this point. It is going to be highly likely, if not entirely possible, that the Islamic Republic of Iran will most likely start off the followed continued air campaign by the United States that will be happening here in the near future. So in general, while this is just a one-off operation at the moment, or a one-off mission, it's guaranteed, based off of what we expect to be the Iranian response, to be a prolonged air campaign against the Iranians here over the next several weeks, maybe even the next several months. So I hope that does address that well, in my opinion, and a big thanks to you so much once again for support and helping this channel to keep on running. And with that, we are on to the next one.
And our next super chat is going to be a $50 support from Howard Mendelson. And thank you, Howard, as well.
I would say that's it for now. So we're just trying to I was trying to keep you guys updated on the news, what's going on, because these things will affect everything when there's these things happening. So I would say by Sunday, the earliest, based on the market, because I'll be in the charts, I'll be in the market. So I think all these things kind of shape where everything is going, So as we wait for GTA 6, a year from now, well, 338 days. So we're trying to build a community and for GTA 6. And with these news, I don't know how they're gonna affect us. So trying to keep you guys updated and show the countdown as we wait. So these major news do affect how things goes in the world, and also will it affect GTA 6? So that's why I'm trying to keep you guys updated and all that good stuff. Subscribe to the community. Comment what you think about this news. How would it affect us? Will Rockstar implement those type of events in the game? And yeah, so we're counting down, man. So every week I'll be posting consistently and keep you guys updated. Everything that I found, news, even trading sometime. Everything, because everything connected. So everything is connected. So at the end of the day, so trying to keep you guys updated and stopping by, leave you guys with something for tonight, and and also as we wait for GTA 6, let me know if anything else you guys would want me to want to stream. So I've been streaming Call of Duty Black Ops 6. But I know I haven't streamed for a while, but I've been doing GTA 6 content. So as we wait for the countdown, so let me know if anything you guys have in mind or want me to stream. We can hang out, build a community, get to know each other as we wait for GTA 6 and all that good stuff. So yeah, so let's build this community. It's small. Let's start small. Don't wait till don't jump on the bandwagon when it's. I mean, you're still welcome though. Don't jump on the bandwagon when we up there. Subscribe with us, grind with us from the ground up, so we can see what we build as time goes by, as we wait for GTA 6. So you'll be, at 338 day from now, when we dived in GTA 6, you guys can say, hey, I was there from the beginning. I was there when you was under 500 subscribers. I was there when, stuff like that. So I can know who supported, who was with the community. So I can, of course, find a way to give back to support the people that supported me, and all that good stuff. So with that said, I think I'm gonna end. Let me see. Is anything new going on? I think that's the same news. Let me see.
Centers in Isfahan and Natanz. That obviously that's not too much of a groundbreaking statement right there. That's pretty much common sense and straightforward. So, and we're not really hearing anything of note from the guy, but he is saying that he witnessed it. Apparently, he's still alive. So they must have evacuated something from that facility, or otherwise he wouldn't be saying that right now. So somehow he is still living. So he's out there speaking the language of
Shout out to the
simplicity, I guess
forces.
you could
That's where
say.
I'm
But
getting
moving on here
these
to our
news
next
from.
super chat. This one is going to go to while I scroll up, Call Me Curtis, who puts in a 50, and thank you very much, Call Me Curtis, for that support. He said, time for the Iranian people to finally stand up against the mullahs, and women can finally be free in Iran without persecution of those psychopathic leaders.
And hopefully so. Hopefully we will see a future like that. I generally do believe that the collapse of the Islamic Republic would be beneficial not only to the Iranians.
Okay, that's it for now. So yeah, that was the news, guys, and I think crypto is already at 102,000. So let's see how everything is open on Sunday, and if I get anything from Rockstar, any leaks, any gameplay, anything, and I'll keep you guys updated. So subscribe to stay updated. Hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with my videos, so I can let you guys know what I found as we wait. And that said, see you guys on the next one. Peace out.